Hello, welcome to our new video. In this video tutorial we will be learning about repetition structures or loops in Python. So without any delay, let's start. To achieve looping in Python, we have two types of loops. One is while and other is for. So before using how these works, first of all let's understand what does loop mean. So for example, if programmer want to say that you need to write your name, for example, 10 times, for example, whatever your name is, for example, James. So one way is to print your name 10 times and execute it. But what we could do is we could do the same using compact code called loop. So what does loop do? Loop execute a block of code multiple times. So for example, if I want to one way was if I could copy it and write 5 times. For example, if I want to print 5 times James, so this method looks a bit weird. What I could achieve the same by using this method, and we will learn how this works. For example, so if this is equal to 0 and x equal to x plus 1, so you can see the same result. Now imagine if James asked you to print his name 1000 times. So I think all we need to do is just put 1000 here. And the prior approach was we had to write 100 or 1000 of print statements for James, and that is a bit weird. You can see now it will be printed 1000 times, so I don't want to count them. Anyways, so this is what loops are used for, to execute a code or statements multiple times. So now basically there are two kinds of loop. One is while loop and other is for loop. So what is the syntax for while loop or for and what is the syntax for loop, we will see in a minute. So for the syntax for while is we are going to edit here. So the syntax for while is first of all you need to write while keyword, then condition, colon, then statements, n number of statements, whatever number of statements you want to write. So you need to write your code here, and in finally increment or decrement, right? So this is the syntax for only for while loop. So for example, if you want to print, maybe for example if you want to print a star triangle, what you could do is I want to write while x is less than 5, then print star how many times x. So and finally increment or decrement. So I want to write x plus equal to 1. That means each time this loop runs, the x is incremented by 1. So initially x is 0. If you run it, then first time, because x is 0, I don't want to put x equal to 0, I want to put 1. So initially this 1 star should be printed, then x is equal to x plus 1. So 2 is less than 5, yes, then print star how many times? 2 times, and so on until this condition becomes false when x is 6. So 6 is less than or equal to 5, it's false. So the loops shall be terminated. So for example, we can write here exit from loop, right? So let's run it. So if there is no error, you can see the triangle is printed. So in this way you can achieve it. The same could be done using for loop. We'll see in a minute. Now if you want to reverse this triangle, what you could do is you could write 5 minus x and then printed. You can see the triangle should be printed in reverse order, and you can achieve likewise. Okay, so this is how for loop while loop works. What about for loop? So let's first discuss syntax for loop. Syntax for loop. So what is the syntax? What is the grammar? The grammar for loop is for variable name, for example I, in then range function, whatever the range you want to pass, for example from 1 to 10, and then you write statements here, whatever the piece of code you want to write. So there is no increment or decrement in last, because for loop manages this increment and decrement by itself in this statement. So okay, so without any delay, let's do. So I is variable name, and if I is within this range, then between this range these number of statements should be executed. Okay, so let's see what I'm saying. For example, if I say for I in range maybe 10, and I want to write print I. So let's see. Initially the value of I should be 0, because we haven't specified the starting point, so it will assume 0. First it will print 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, up to 9. So like this. Okay, so you can see watching this is a bit weirdo. So what we could do is, I want to print I, and then its end is null. So you can see now it should be printed in one line. So this is how these loops works. You can do couple of other things as well. For example, if you want to say that range should be from 1 to 10, then you can see the loop has run from 1 to 10. If you want to say your loop should start from 5, then you can see it's starting from 5. If you say it should run from 1 to 10 with jump of 2, so you can see now 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 only printing odd numbers. So this is how you can use for loop and while loop to repeat the number of any statement number of times based on conditions. I hope this would help, and if you have any query, you can ask in the comments. I will try to answer.